Well, yesterday, the mainstream media was not too happy about the narrative that was developing about killers for Bernie. They wanted to move away from that very quickly. So yesterday evening, the Washington Post came out with some leaks to talk about obstruction of justice charges for Donald Trump and saying that the special prosecutor is going to be looking into that. Was it really obstruction of justice, or was it obfuscation of that story? And we're going to talk about killers for Bernie and some updates on that. But we also want to take a look at the mainstream media and how they're salivating over these charges and why, again, there is nothing there. We're going to lay that out for you, why there is no obstruction of justice. But first, let's take a look at David Gergen. He was on CNN last night, and he was talking about how he believes that we're now in impeachment territory. Here's what he had to say.
I was in the Nixon administration, as you know, and I thought after watching the Clinton impeachment, I thought I'd never see another one. But I think we're in impeachment territory now for the first time. Well, I think that the obstruction of justice was the #1 charge against Nixon that brought him down. Obstruction of justice was the #1 charge against Bill Clinton, which led to his indictment in the House. He won in the Senate. And I think I'm a lapsed lawyer. I cannot tell you whether it meets all the legal definitions.
Yeah, he's a lapsed lawyer, and he doesn't know if it meets the legal definitions. We're going to give you some observations from somebody who isn't a lapsed lawyer, and he's going to break this down for us. But this is a guy that the Washington Post says those were not the words of a left-wing political blogger with high hopes, nor a hyperactive Twitter maven spouting conspiracy theories. They came from David Gergen, the typically moderate, mild-mannered CNN analyst and former aide to 4 presidents, both Republican and Democrat. So bow down and worship this swamp thing called David Gergen. Let's break down who this guy really is in a really short interview that Alex Jones had, I think it's back in the 90s, and he put it in one of his documentaries. But here's Alex Jones meeting David Gergen.
Where you had a comment about the organization, and then now it's been in the Wall Street Journal, it's been in a lot of different newspapers, and that's the Bohemian Grove. And back in, what was it, 1996, when you joined as a Clinton advisor, the Republicans were criticizing you. Oh, what about Bohemian Grove? And then you countered them by saying, "Hey, I don't run around in the woods naked." What did that mean?
What does that mean? I mean, he is a swamp thing after all, right? Why does he need clothes, especially when he goes to Bohemian Grove? Okay, this is the guy. Let's talk about the obstruction. What was it? Was it something that he said about General Flynn? Yet we had Comey continue to testify that, no, there was no crimes by Donald Trump. I wasn't investigating any crimes by Donald Trump, and he continued to say that all the way through his investigation. No, there wasn't anything. I wasn't investigating Donald Trump personally, and yet the very first conversation they had allegedly was about Michael Flynn. So all this occurred after that. So there would be no obstruction charge there, or if there was, then basically Comey would be part of that. So was it the firing of Comey that was the obstruction of justice? You know, I think the presence of a hostile, partisan replacement like Robert Mueller argues very decisively against that. It says, no, that really didn't happen. But yet we had commentators again on CNN saying the irony is one of the reasons that Trump fired Comey was because he wouldn't say the president was not under investigation. Isn't that a good enough reason? Isn't that something that you can't get somebody to say that I've done nothing wrong? Who's going to give me back my good name? Who's going to clear my good name? Tell the people that I haven't done anything. And let's go back to this clip. Let's take a look at this clip, Marco Rubio. Remember the Comey testimony? Marco Rubio called him on that. He said, we've had all these leaks. Why didn't we ever have everybody knew? It was an open secret with all the senators that Trump was not under investigation. Why didn't that leak out? Remember this? Let's play that clip.
Yes, sir. You know, this investigation is full of leaks left and right. I mean, we've learned more from the newspapers sometimes than we do from our open hearings, for sure. You ever wonder why, of all the things in this investigation, the only thing that's never been leaked is the fact that the president was not personally under investigation, despite the fact that both Democrats and Republicans and the leadership of Congress knew that and have known that for weeks?
Great point.
I don't know.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know. And yet he continued to say, not only did he say that Trump was not being investigated, but he said, Trump fired me because of the Russian investigation. And what did he base that on? Comey based that on a leak and a false report by the New York Times. And Comey himself discredited the New York Times. He said they get these leaks and they don't know what's going on the inside. And then he talked about later how he was a leaker to the New York Times indirectly through the head of the Columbia School of Journalism that he had leaked to the New York Times. But supposedly, this story that goes back to the reason that Trump saying, I fired him because of the Russian investigation, this goes back to a New York Times story, May 19th, after the firing of Comey. And purportedly what happened, and we don't know if this is what happened because this was a leak that the New York Times built a story on. And as I just said, Comey destroyed the New York Times in many of these stories and then yet still used them as his source. According to the sources, during a meeting with the Russian foreign minister, Trump said, I just fired the head of the FBI. He was a real nut job. And he says, I faced great pressure because of Russia. That's taken off. Well, maybe that's because he was naive enough to think that this investigator, this special prosecutor, Mueller, would be an honest guy, unlike the political tool that Comey is. But of course, we then saw that he staffed his investigation with Democrats. And as was pointed out by many people, Judge Napolitano said they're prosecutors. They're going to try to justify their job. Prosecutors are going to come up with charges. This is a Stalinist type of investigation. It's not just a witch hunt. This is Stalin. Bring me the man, I'll find the crime. They have been investigating this for nearly a year. Nothing yet. But let's come up with something else so that we can't fire this special prosecutor. Remember, we had Representative Gohmert after the Comey hearing said, there is no collusion here. We saw this. There's no collusion between the Trump administration and Russia. This was admitted over and over again by Comey, who's been investigating it for nearly a year. So he said, the only collusion that we know of is collusion between Comey and Mueller. Comey ran things by Mueller before he testified. He also ran things by other people in the Justice Department when he did the memo. So there is a lot of collusion. There's collusion within the Justice Department to get Donald Trump. And so he said, yeah, we ought to fire him. And of course, as part of this testimony, we heard Comey say that Loretta Lynch had tried to, guess what, obstruct justice. Call it a matter. Don't really go there. So why isn't that being investigated? Donald Trump said that Loretta Lynch, former Attorney General, obstructed justice. Let's do that investigation. But, you know, when we look at this leak that says that Comey was fired because of the investigation, the one that supposedly came from this meeting in the Oval Office with the Russian foreign minister, do we know if that leak is really accurate? We don't really know. What we do know is that Comey truly is a nut job. He is a political hack. He's an admitted coward. He is an admitted leaker himself. He is a disgruntled employee who is angry because he learned of his firing when he was holding a meeting and it came up on the television behind him. But he was fired for good cause. Even Stephen Colbert's partisan audience applauded when they heard that James Comey had been fired, before they realized they could use it against Donald Trump. So I have to say, Lordy, can't you see that? Can't you see the character of this man? Can't you see that he refused to lift the cloud over Donald Trump, even though he did everything he could to remove the cloud from Hillary Clinton by opening that up? He was using his position for his official position for political attacks. It is right to fire a politicized hack like James Comey. But let's look at the Washington Post itself. The same people who brought this up yesterday. Last week, when we had the Comey hearings, they had a report from Andrew McCarthy. He's a former federal prosecutor. He's a contributing editor at the National Review. And here's what he had to say at the time, a week ago. He said, what Comey described was not obstruction of justice, and here's why. He said it'll embolden those who think that they know enough to conclude that Trump obstructed justice by leaning on the FBI director to halt a criminal investigation into Michael Flynn. But that is fatally flawed in two critical respects. It overlooks both a requirement for corrupt intent and a principle of executive discretion. So let's talk a little bit about legalese, because we have David Gergen throwing this out there and giggling about the fact, oh, we got impeachment starting here. And then he says, I'm a lapsed lawyer, so I can't really speak to this. Well, here's a guy who isn't. Here's a guy who actually knows and cares what the law says. So let's talk about what this really is required. The arguments for presidential obstruction, he says, tend to omit the statute's most important word, corruptly. Not every form of interfering with an investigation or even closing down an investigation is a felony obstruction. Only the corrupt ones. Prosecutors must prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the accused not only acted intentionally, but also with an awareness that his actions violated the law. And he gives an example. An official who acts to halt an investigation out of fear a suspect will reveal wrongdoing by the official. Okay? Comey's own testimony, if it was true, is that that's not an argument against us, because he talked about, I want you to get the satellites. So if Comey is telling the truth and this he said, she said, back and forth, and it's just Comey's word against Donald Trump's word. But Donald Trump, according to Comey, said, I want you to look at these satellites. I really want you to go there and look at that. So that is not showing that he wants to shut this down because it's going to get broader. And also he replaced Comey and continued the investigation. He said, but what would be a legitimate interference with an investigation? You really can interfere with an investigation if you're president, and you can do it legitimately and not be impeached for it, not be obstructing justice. He says you have executive discretion. He said every day in the FBI and in U.S. Attorney General's offices throughout the nation, agents and prosecutors decide to close investigations or to decline prosecutions. They consider the seriousness of the offense, the balance against personal factors of the suspect, his criminal history, contributions to society, whether alternatives to criminal prosecution would be more appropriate, whether a criminal charge would be overkill because of other consequences. So he said the FBI and the Justice Department, so think about the fact that the FBI and all these attorneys general are doing this everywhere on a daily basis. And he points out these guys are a branch of the executive. He says they're subordinate to the president. They don't exercise their own power. The Constitution vests all that executive power in the president. The prosecutors and the FBI agents who are constantly doing prosecutorial discretion are his delegates. And when they exercise prosecutorial discretion, they are exercising the president's power. The president cannot have less authority to exercise his power than his subordinates do. And then he goes on to talk about, describing the February 14th meeting, Comey understandably inferred from Trump's requests that others leave the room that the president's possible awareness was that he might be doing something appropriate. But he says this suspicion has to be balanced against what Trump actually did, which is merely to plead on Flynn's behalf and not to order an outcome. He says the president added that Flynn had been through a lot. He'd been fired in a humiliating fashion. His financial prospects were obviously dimmed. In other words, assuming Comey's version of the conversation is correct, and Trump has disputed it, Trump was doing what prosecutors and agents do all the time. He weighed the equities. He opined that further investigation and potential indictment were not warranted. Enough is enough. Exactly. That's exactly what we're talking about here.
I want to tell you about some of the products at InfoWarsStore.com. We are under constant attack. You know it by now from the mainstream media. They're trying to attack us on every level. Now with the YouTube scandal, they're demonetizing our channels, which again takes a huge chunk out of our income, which is why we always appreciate and rely on you getting the products, because that's how we stay afloat. They can't get to us that way. They can't pressure you to not buy the products. They don't have that power. And that's why you're the key to this entire operation. We have Super Blue fluoride-free toothpaste, bubblegum flavor, just arrived at InfoWarsStore.com. This is by listener request. Bubblegum flavored Super Blue toothpaste now available at InfoWarsStore.com in limited supply. Again, if you're not using fluoride-free toothpaste by now, then you're absolutely insane. Harvard studies, it reduces IQ, it causes bone cancer. It's not great, let's just put it that way, and I've been using it for about, 15 years now? So you're going to buy it anyway, why not buy it from us? It's in limited supply, but it is available at InfoWarsStore.com with the new bubblegum flavor, Super Blue fluoride-free toothpaste, and it supports this network, which is under constant demonization and attack, because we don't take big fat checks from George Soros. We don't get put on extremist lists even though they want us to. That's how they're taking away the YouTube money. That's why we need your support more than ever, because we're not funded by giant corporations who are now pulling the plug on YouTube as they move it into a TV thing, a Netflix model, to drown out independent voices. So support us by getting the products at InfoWarsStore.com.